Hello, welcome back to Flavor O'Clock. My name is Darinka, and here I share with you where, how, why with Watkins spices, herbs, seasonings, and extracts. And today I'm going to share with you the Watkins pepper. I think it's an absolute must for every kitchen out there. There's lots of peppers out there, so why Watkins? Why would you go that extra mile or kilometer to get the Watkins pepper? One thing, yes, it's made in a tin, so it stays nice and fresh. This is the big one. And years ago, I never used to carry this one. Now, I always carry this one because that's how much some people absolutely love the Watkins peppers. And if you are one of them, I definitely want to see a thumbs up or a like or a comment on how you use your Watkins pepper. We always have one on the table, and that's our little one. So you can see right there side by side. This one is just twice the size of that one. We live in a small space, so that's why we use this one. But if you want to save some money, you want to get this one. So let's talk about the inside of the tin right now. Watkins pepper, when you look at the ingredients on the tin, that's all it is. It's granulated, pure ground pepper. There are no fillers. And the way it's done, it holds the oils. So when you sprinkle it on your food or in your recipes, you definitely taste the difference. The flavor is absolutely amazing. So how can you get the Watkins peppers other than here in a tin? They also have it, if you didn't want it already granulated, like some people like to get their coffee already ground. Maybe they don't have the equipment at home to grind their own coffee, so they just get it ground. But some people like to buy coffee beans. So we have the black peppercorns in a jar. So if you have your own handy dandy pepper grinder at home, you can get just the peppercorns. If you don't have your own handy dandy peppercorn grinder in your kitchen, guess what? Watkins has it with the grinder. They've got straight black peppercorns. They've got this one, which is super popular, the garlic peppercorn blend. And why do I like this one so much? It's got a little bit of the sea salt and lemon peel. I'm just going to quickly look to see. Okay, so they also have a few other spices, and they've got a little bit of onion as well, and some red bell pepper. So this blend is another one that you could just have on your table. I think I've talked about it in a previous video, but this is just another one strictly only in a grinder. So if you have a handy dandy pepper grinder, I mean, you could open this up and put it in there if it's a nice clear one and you like using your grinder, but you don't have to. It comes in a grinder. So I really wanted to talk about the Watkins pepper, and I really would like to hear from you if you already use the Watkins pepper, how, where, why you use it. And if you don't, if you have any questions about the Watkins pepper, I'd love to answer your questions. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I'm not sure 100% if I'm going to do one more video before Christmas. In that case, if I do not, I'm going to take a moment here to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for plugging into my new YouTube channel. It has been a challenge for me. I know how to use my phone. I know how to do videos, but it's once I put it onto my laptop and I do the magic of checking it and adding some more music. If I need to add in some text because I said one word incorrectly, instead of calling it a cutting board, I call it a cookie board, etc. So it has been definitely a challenge for me learning. I look forward to 2022 learning a little bit more of video editing to make the videos just that much more interesting. I mean, me knowing the product and how to explain the product is, I think, about half the video. I find the other half is if you have some sort of cartoon or it's an animation, maybe a little bit different type of music. So I'm going to play with it. I'd like to see it grow. I want to do more recipes so I can share with you where I use the ingredients. Like I saw one just a few minutes ago on this really cool chicken recipe. It uses quite a bit of the Watkins spices like paprika, turmeric, etc. And I thought that would be so much fun to try that out. We've got a ton of snow outside, so I've got lots of time inside to practice with recipes and then turn around and share with you just how you would use the different Watkins spices and why they add I find, the best flavor for your food. So definitely, if you like to have the individual spices, like I said, like basil, oregano, thyme, and just a heads up, rosemary will be coming next year. So as much as I wish I could show you my plant, I am overwintering my rosemary plant. It's struggling, definitely, because we've got a more drier climate up here. So it's an effort. I got to make sure that's always well watered, but not too watered over the winter, and keeping it happy alive, not sad alive. And I love fresh rosemary. I really do. I've always had people come up to my booths or my tables and, ask about certain herbs and spices. And I'm so quick to say, do you have a balcony? Do you have a garden? Can you grow it fresh? And some can, because they don't realize how easy rosemary can be in the summertime. It's a very easy herb to grow, but it's a challenge to overwinter. So if you can't have your own fresh rosemary at your fingertips, then you bet I highly recommend the Watkins herbs and spices. It's the process on what they do with all the ingredients and how it's just put into, I find, the right size jar, glass jar. That's another tip. Spices should be either in a glass jar or in a tin, because spices and herbs have oils. And unfortunately, once you open them up to use them, which is what I would like you to do, don't just save them, collect dust on your shelf. Definitely use them in your recipes. But once you open them up, you release, the oils into the air, you put air into the bottle, then they don't last as long. But that glass jar in a temperate cabinet, or behind closed doors where it's a little bit darker or dark, they'll last longer. Glass jars and a tin. Anything else, it definitely won't last that long. So sometimes you'll see some herbs and spices, in plastic containers, plastic bags. And yes, they're definitely less expensive, but they won't last as long. So you've got options, and it's nice to know what the difference is. So again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to you, if not before, definitely in the new year. So have a wonderful Christmas with families and friends, and take care. Thank you.